Good afternoon, everybody. I really hope you're well. It's Wednesday afternoon, and I know I don't normally do a class on a Wednesday afternoon because I normally have exams, but I think because of this week being bank holiday week, where we've had the bank holiday on Monday, that no one wanted to book in for their exams today. So I've not had any exams, so I thought I would do you a Fitness Pilates back care special. We've done a really super hard class this morning, being our kettlebells versus our one way, and we did a beautiful yoga flow this morning as well. So you've got a lovely combination. Now I'm going to do Fitness Pilates all for back care. So this is going to be really giving you the very best exercises to help to strengthen the back, but also the very best mobility exercises as well. So many people struggle with their back, and it's generally because of lack of mobility or lack of core strength. So Pilates, Fitness Pilates especially, is so good for it. So if you struggle with your back, I'd love to know. I'd love you to give me any messages below if you do this on catch up or if you do it on live, on how you feel afterwards, and whether or not you have any questions about anything, let me know. Hi, Amanda. Hey, Nick. Good to have you both on board. And obviously, if you're an instructor, you can pass these little nuggets on to your participants whenever you want to. Apologies that I look a bit haggard. I've just been sweating, jumping around like a loony. So apologies that I look a bit beraggled. It's been a full morning of teaching. Hey, Sarah. So let's take it right from the start in a standing position and really be aware of your back. So I'm just going to drop that down. Hopefully that all sounds good. Let me know if there's any questions at all as we're going through. Now, the big key thing is to understand that everyone is different. Everyone's movement quality is different. Everyone's strength is different. And just to really reiterate and be aware of any contraindications that might feel uncomfortable, never making anyone do anything that feels uncomfortable for them, and working into your own range of movement, and just kind of being aware of that. Now, generally with any back condition, what we now prescribe is movement is key. So years and years and years ago, if someone was to say, for instance, herniate a disc in their back, they would be put on 6 weeks bed rest and told not to move. Now, what the key point is obviously in their acute stage, probably that first week, they're going to really struggle and they're probably going to be quite sedentary. But then after that, they must move. And with a lot of people with any diagnosed back conditions, the actual way that is going to get better is through movement. The vertebrae is made up of slightly movable joints, and every single joint in your body needs 3 things to function correctly. They need compression, they need decompression, and they need movement. And we actually lose our blood supply to our spine, to our discs, after the age of 7 years old. We lose it. So the only way we can actually feed those discs to let them be healthy and plump and vibrant is through movement. So it's vital that we, try to encourage people to move, but working as always within a range that feels great for them. Hi, Jenny. And obviously, if anything doesn't feel uncomfortable, don't making people do it. But actually, to sit on their bum all day is not going to help. To lay in bed all day is not going to help. They need to actually, work through and get moving again to enable to strengthen. Now, there are certain conditions where certain movements need to be adjusted. So, for instance, if anybody who has been diagnosed with osteoporosis or has osteopenia within the spine, then essentially one of the kind of no-nos for them is this kind of forward flexion hanging position where the hands aren't supported. If they can come down to the floor and actually touch the floor and be supported, that's a lot more safer than being here in no man's land. So essentially for them, we would bring them through into more of a flex position here and support them on the knees. And that's going to be more key for anyone with osteoporosis. And also with anyone who has had disc herniation, the forward flexion position isn't great for them. So as much as, Pilates is brilliant, old school Pilates, where there is a lot of head lifts, so not like fitness Pilates, we don't tend to do a lot of curling of the spine with the head lifted up, but kind of you might, go to old school Pilates classes, or you might have seen them, or you may have done other training where there is a lot of, curling of the spine, head lift position. That isn't great. It's that 10 to 2 position, which really, really aggravates a lot of people who've had disc herniation or disc bulge. So we try and avoid that as much as possible. Alternatively, as well, there are other conditions with the back, like spondylolisthesis, which is a degenerated disease where essentially the discs in the back lose their plumpness, and then the vertebrae moves and hardens, and you get like a step vertebrae. For those conditions, actually extension can aggravate. Not so much extension standing, but definitely extension on the floor. So like back extensions are a little bit of a no-no. So just bear that in mind with all the exercises that I'm going to do for you, that if you have one of those conditions, just modify it. Or if you're an instructor working with a client with one of those conditions, then you need to modify those moves and make sure that you're not doing anything that's causing them any discomfort. So gang, we're going to really think about, first of all, our perfect Pilates posture. Our feet come together. We turn our toes out to the corners of the room, realign our heels with our toes. That doesn't mean those feet can't move. That doesn't mean they have to stay there. This is just a really safe place to start. You're really balanced. The muscles in the abdominals have enough to engage, but the feet aren't too wide that they're not going to really have to work enough, but also they're not going to be wibbly wobbly around too much that they're really unbalanced. So in a really nice, sturdy position. From here, track up through the body, put tension in the muscles, not the joints. And then really important, this pelvis. We want to make sure that pelvis can move. If there is a restriction in the pelvic movement, it's going to mean there's going to be a restriction in the way the back moves. So a lot of people who've got limited movement in their pelvis into an anterior or a posterior tilt will suffer with chronic back pain. It's kind of almost known as flat back, where the pelvis is often tucked forward. They struggle to be able to move the pelvis backwards, and the back can look really quite flat. Areas of the spine can be very tight and cause quite a lot of chronic back pain. So we want to be aware of pelvic movement, how much movement they've got. All the way forward, point A, all the way back, point C. We're going to find point B as our start and finish point. We understand that we're going to move through neutral in some of the positions that we're going to do, but some of the positions we're going to hold neutral. And that neutral spine position is so effective at engaging pelvic floor and engaging transverse abdominis. So it's a key one. It's a key vital position to be in. Doesn't mean we stay there forever. Doesn't mean that we never come out of it. We absolutely do. It would be ridiculous to just hold ourselves in this position all the time. Because again, that would cause limitations, and we want the back to be able to move, but brilliant and safe as a start and finish point. I want you to lengthen up through the body, grow tall, and let the shoulders come up, down, and away from your ears. Neck is lovely and long. Take a moment to focus your breath and let that breath come lateral. So rather than shallow breathing here, I want you to travel that breath deeper. Let it come into the lungs and let the lungs fill the ribs. Fill to the very lowest rib. Feel the ribs in the back of the body, not just in the front. And as you exhale, engage the muscles in the abdominals like you have a belt around the waist, pulling in from hip to hip. And as you breathe in, that belt relaxes. And then you exhale again and it tightens. So you've got this kind of flexible belt around the waist, which is really key to be able to let it relax and let it contract. Again, we don't want the tummy constantly switched on. We don't want those tummy muscles just under tension completely. That will not be functional. We want them to be able to relax and contract like every single other muscle in the body. So once we know that's going on, relax through the shoulders. Let's take a little bit of tension away here. So many people hold tension, neck, shoulders, which then resonates down through the spine. So I want you to lift your shoulders up and then let them drop. Let them come up and let it release. I'm just going to put a little bit of music on in the background. Please don't feel like you've got to work to it in any way, shape or form. Let it come up and then let it release. Relax here. Take the head over to the right shoulder. Roll the head down and round. Over to the other side. So just allowing your neck to relax, to let that tension go. Big circles through. Now, there may be other factors which might be causing somebody to have back pain. You really want to think about this being a holistic approach. What's their diet like? Is there a lot of inflammation in their gut? Are they hydrated? What's their sleep like? Now take the head down, chin on chest, and then look up to the ceiling, open the mouth. Again, think of the neck as an extension of the spine. We want to make sure every single vertebrae is able to move functionally. Well done. Now from here, relax and roll the shoulders. We're going to bring your hands into a Cossack position. Right hand on top, pelvis faces forward. Let's spine twist. Come round to the left. Now change the hands over. So I alternate after right, left. I do that so that I don't get any imbalances coming through my shoulders. Pelvis stays facing forward. And I'm working on the mobility of really my thoracic spine into that rotation. Take the arms wide, palms down, and take your spine twist here. But now we're going to come over with a lateral bend. Spine twist to the left, and then the left arm comes over into that lateral bend. Spine twist to the right, and then you've got your lateral bend here. Well done. And again, that lateral bend. Beautiful. Bring the arms forward. We're going to take a bow and arrow, pull back on the right and pull back on the left. Again, I want mobility to come in through the back, not just in flexion and extension, but in rotation and in lateral flexion and extension. Well done. From here, take the arms down the side of the thighs and reach laterally. Pelvis stays in neutral as you move. Be aware of how your back feels. Often we can feel tightnesses when we move laterally. Good work. And then relax, let that release, loosen off. Let the hips move. Okay, we're going to come into our roll down. So remember what I said earlier. If it's not good for you to roll all the way down, you're going to stay with this halfway point, hands just onto the knees or just above the knees. Create that lovely long spine here. Look forward, push the bottom back, roll up when you're ready, vertebrae by vertebrae, shoulder roll back. If you want to extend, you can. Squeeze the muscles in the bottom. If it feels good for you and you know that it's okay to roll all the way down to the floor, then do it. Let the tension from your head and shoulders go. Inhale, exhale, rise when you're ready. And it's really important to get the spine warm first before we start to work it. Inhale, exhale. Taking that release. So when that feels good for you, maybe you want to do another one of those. You're going to come down to the floor, onto all fours. We're going to cat stretch up. Wag your tail from right to left. Now cow pose under and wag your tail from right to left. So you've got a little bit of flexion, lateral flexion and extension, and then extension through, and again, moving that back side to side. Take a rotation of your spine here as well. Super safe. Hands are on the floor, knees are on the floor. Moving that back into circles wherever you feel you want to be. Sit back and stretch here. Let the hands come along the floor. Now, this is a lovely stretch for the sides of the back, but also really great for anyone with scoliosis. If you take your hands over to one side, put the opposite hand on top, head down low. You've got a lovely stretch there happening in the side of the waist. Change over to the other side. So we're here, head down and stretch. Good work. Bring it center. Inhale, exhale. Fantastic. So I'm going to bring it through into our Superman, probably one of our best well-known moves, which helps to strengthen the back. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Check for any hypermobility in the elbows. I'm going to do a talk on that tomorrow for instructors. But you really don't want the insides of your elbows facing forwards. You want them facing each other. Create a lovely long spine and take a moment to engage the muscles in the abdominals. We're going to exhale and we're going to lift up. Inhale and we lower down. Lift up on the other side when you're ready. As you lift, we want to squeeze the muscles in the bottom. They help to protect the lower back. The stronger they are. So the more you can fire up through the glutes, the more beneficial that's going to be. Now flex the foot, and that's going to engage the glutes a little bit stronger. You're not coming into hyperlordosis here. Just a lovely long spine. Think of the neck as an extension of the spine here as well. I'm turning my hands, so my thumb leads, to engage the back of my shoulder and my upper back a little bit stronger. So I'm here. We can stay in Superman for as long as we like. The longer you hold up, the harder it is. So you can change the pace. Working as hard as you wish. Good work. Now I know laying down prone might not be right for everyone, so feel free to stay on all fours if you wish. Hands underneath the forehead. Find a comfortable position for you. Take the legs as wide as you want. Feel free to have something a little bit more padded under your pelvis. We're going to either lift one leg up, change sides, or we lift both legs up, squeeze the muscles in the bottom. Now, where I was saying that anyone with spondylolisthesis, back extensions aren't great, for them, this is better, where you're actually lifting up, working the lower back, working the glutes, without coming into extension. Superman is absolutely fine for any condition. That's why it's such a great move. Taking a swim leg, double or single, again, is super good for many, many conditions. A lot of people find it hard. A lot of people don't engage their glutes. They don't fire up enough. Now, if I turn my heels in, I'm going to engage those glutes deeper. If I turn my heels out, it disengages the glutes, and I don't want that to happen. So heels in or just feet neutral as you do this. Feel free to push back anytime you need to. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the legs alone, bring the hands back into dart pose. Start to lift up into a back extension. Reach down to one side of the body, come back and lower. Lift up to center, reach down to the other side, come back and lower. So we've got a frontal plane back extension. Great for anyone who needs to strengthen through their back. Will need to be definitely, not good for your spondylolisthesis clients. It's doing an extension to stay with Superman for them. But for everybody else, really working through this lower back, adding that frontal plane position to strengthen through the sides of the back as well. Well done. We take the arms out into square. And we're going to rotate and lift. Lower down. Inhale, exhale, lift. So I'm now adding in a back extension with rotation. Really important to strengthen the back into a rotation as well. Pelvis stays down into the ground. Slowly move wherever you feel comfortable. Feel free to push back anytime you want to. Feeling nice and strong through this back. The arms are going to come lovely and long. Head stays down. We squeeze the shoulder blades back. We've got our VW, thumbs up. Squeeze the bottom. Pull the elbows back. Come forward when you wish. Inhale, exhale, draw back. Option if you want to. So this is absolutely fine for any condition. As long as there's no spondylolisthesis, you can take that into a back extension if you wish. Inhale, exhale, move again when you're ready. If you don't want to lift the chest, pull back and you can lift one leg. And then change sides. Head can stay down, there's no back extension. Drawing the elbows down, squeezing the shoulder blades. Working the lower back at the same time with the leg lift. When you hit fatigue, gang, push back into your child's pose. Release. And walk the fingertips away again. Take that relax, that release there for you. Come into cat stretch anytime you need to. Let your back relax. And then we want to do some mobility work for the back. So all of those exercises are great for strength work. Your back extension, your VW, the square, the back extension with the frontal plane, the Superman. All of them are designed to help strengthen the back. The more repetitions you do, obviously the harder you'll be working. They're all super, super strong. Work into the range of movement that feels good for you. And then the two very, very best exercises that help with mobility down here on the mat are thread like a needle and shoulder bridge. So we're going to finish with those. We'll come back onto all fours. We're going to bring ourselves back slightly. Take our right hand to our temple. Bend through the supporting arm. Inhale, exhale, and then lift up when you're ready. Let's do 4 repetitions on this side. Inhale, exhale, lift when you're ready. Pelvis stays still. Working through to that range of movement that feels good for you. When you've done your 4, change sides. Feel free if you need to help keep your pelvis still. You might want to put a ball in between your thighs. That's absolutely fine. Bend through the supporting arm. Straighten through the supporting arm as you come up. Really allowing your back to mobilize in a rotation here. When you've done your 4, change back to the first side. Feel free to extend the arm now if you want. Thread through, but don't drop the shoulder completely. So stay into a range of movement that feels best for you. Be aware of how you move. Take your time. And then on that second side, threading through. So really important to get the back moving to start with. Then we've got our strength work that comes in from our back extensions or from our Superman. And then again, finish with mobility. Release and stretch away. So if I turn over, I'm going to come onto my back, come into a shoulder bridge position. So gang, I'm going to bring myself down into the floor. Have the feet as wide or narrow as you want. Relax through the back. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, and we're going to rise up, vertebrae by vertebrae, shoulders away from the ears. Neck is lovely and long. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Shoulder bridge is one of the very, very best moves for spinal mobility, especially when I was talking about that pelvis, trying to increase pelvic mobility. Some people might need to just start with a pelvic tilt. Coming up through into point A, lifting a tiny bit and then rocking back. For some people, if you're very, very tight in the lower back, that might be just enough for you. Otherwise, you can come up higher into your mid back and then down. And then higher still into your upper back. A great way we can increase that is by adding in the arm float over. Comes up, over, leave the arms there. So don't move them. Now lower the back down. Vertebrae by vertebrae, coccyx hits the floor, arms come down by your side. We take our breath, inhale, exhale, lift. Arms go back behind you, stay there, lower down when you wish. Coccyx hits the floor, arms come down. By leaving the arms overhead, you've got this increase in the load there. So it's harder to get that articulation. You are required to have more flexibility in the back, in the shoulders. Big squeeze on the glutes as well. You know the importance of those. Well done. Hug the knees to the chest. Pull those knees in and take a moment to release. Relax the back there. Circle round on that lower back. Go round both ways. Uncross the feet, cross them the other way. Do those rotations again. Round in both directions. Relax the feet, pull the knees over to one side, let the shoulder drop. So gang, if you want more information on back care, we did a live on back health. I also did a women's health talk on back care, back health. You'll find that under the women's health videos, the instructor health videos as well. Change over to the other side whenever you're ready. Watch any of those on catch up anytime you want. Well done. Hug the knees to the chest. Take a little rock and bring yourself up to sitting. Sit comfy for you. Take the hand down. We reach over. Change sides when you're ready. And then feel free to come back round to your cat, to cow. Give your back a little bit of a release again there. Loosen off. And then slowly bring yourself back. Hands come back to the feet. Inhale, exhale, we rise vertebrae by vertebrae. Neck and head comes up last and roll the shoulders back. Roll here. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Only as far as you want. Let go of tension you might be holding on to within your back, your neck, your shoulders. Take a breath, inhale, exhale and rise. Vertebrae by vertebrae. As you come up, we reset the shoulders and release. Take a breath. Exhale, bring yourself back down to your perfect Pilates posture. Shoulders away from the ears, neck is long. Take another breath. As you exhale, bring that pelvis back into neutral. And then one more time, inhale. Exhale, grow a little taller. Lengthen that back. Take your right arm above your head and your left. Right hand forward and your left. Right palm in and your left. Give yourself and each other a superb round of applause. Well done, gang. I know that was only just a little snippet, but perfect for a half-hour little session to get moving, get strengthened as well. So hopefully that's helped and it's helped you feel good. There are so many videos in this group all about back care, about posture, about pelvic floor health. You'll find them all under the Fitness Pilates hashtag, the Pilates/bar hashtag, or the instructor help videos as well. And you'll be able to have a little look and see. Obviously, with regards to back health, there are so many factors that can affect it. But generally, to get moving and to strengthen and to then mobilize again, essentially is key. Working to the range of movement that feels good and always just listening to your body. Thank you. Yeah, Bentley boy is good. He's tired. He's very tired after his little trip away. And he spent most of the days since we've got home just asleep, just tired. He was so knackered from being away. But he's good. He's laying in his bed with his fan on. He's chilled, which is all good. I know you don't get to see him so much. He'll be definitely popping in. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Sarah. Take care, everyone. Have a great, great afternoon. And don't forget, 3-in-1 dance aerobics is tonight at 6:30. See you soon.